Hi everybody, in this video I want to go over the welcome course overview page, which you can find under modules and then module 0 and then finally welcome course overview. Now this page contains a lot of information and I'm not going to go over every item. It's also going to have different information based on the class. So pay attention to what's on Canvas in your particular semester and particular class. What you're going to find is at the top a welcome message, and then a section containing an introduction video about myself, contact information, and how I communicate with you, some instructor bio, talking more about myself, stuff I didn't necessarily cover in the introduction video. And then there's going to be course information specific to your particular course, so a course description. And then that leads me to the course layout, which will be basically the same across my classes. Number one, right here. Modules contain information. So I put weekly on there, but really, depending on how your course is set up, it might be that modules are 2 weeks or maybe more or maybe less. But they contain information such as links to assignments, discussions, lectures, and additional resources. New modules will be released the Sunday before the start of a new module. However, as my schedule allows, I might release these modules sooner because I know some students like to work ahead or just see what's coming up. So, number one, what does that mean? Well, don't just focus on the graded activities. In that case, don't just do your discussions, assignments, and discussions, and quizzes. That's because I provide, as I mentioned on here, additional resources depending on the module, depending on the class. So, for example, I want to show you another class, the marketing principles, what that looks like. Under modules, they will typically be just one item in there. It'll be the overview and to-do list. So see, if you look at every module, I have it set up that way. However, it will be easy to miss information if you don't ever look at that. Like as I mentioned a minute or two ago, if you just focus on the graded activities, you're going to miss the overview video, which might contain additional information not captured anywhere else. And then there's going to be the to-do list, which goes beyond these graded activities. So if you look at this example, here are the graded activities starting at number 7, going all the way to number 11. However, there's other information on there, right? There's a course materials link. So that would take you to another page. So this is a specific example for this class. It might look different based on whatever class you're taking with me. The point is, there are going to be things that you're going to miss if you don't look at the overview page. Number 2, you may also access graded activities under assignments. Just like the modules, not all graded activities might be available yet. So what does that mean? Well, one of your course navigation links on the left will be assignments. And so you can click on assignments to easily access all your different assignments instead of looking at it in modules view like this or looking at it from your overview to-do list, because it's only going to cover, like for example, module 1. It's just going to show you module 1 stuff, not all the other modules. But if you go to assignments, you're going to see all of it, provided, as I mentioned on here, that it's already available. If not, then you'll have to wait, right? All right, number 3, use a tentative weekly schedule in the course syllabus as a general overview of weekly activities. However, the due dates are subject to change, so refer to details in Canvas, announcement emails, and the calendar. With that said, let's see. I want to point you to the calendar real quick. So if you view the calendar, a useful feature on there is this calendar feed. So if you click on that, it will provide you with a link that you can copy, which you can then use to go to your Google Calendar or Outlook Calendar, or perhaps another type of calendar. I didn't really go beyond those first two, but every online calendar has a feature where you could add a calendar, and one of your options typically would be a URL. Well, this will be the URL that you can provide. So then you can have notifications that way on top of what else you might get from logging onto Canvas. So that would be a really useful feature. All right, let me go back to the welcome page. Modules information, next section right there. Each new module will typically be available by Sunday, unless, of course, I make it available sooner, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Pay attention to the various due dates and times as they are subject to change. The schedule in the course syllabus is merely a general guide. All changes will be communicated to you via email and Canvas. And that's why in another video, I mentioned how your account notifications should be set to where as soon as I publish an announcement that you receive an email. And then, of course, on top of that, a prerequisite to being in the know is to actually regularly check your email, which really, I would say, check every day throughout the semester. All due dates and times are Central Time. And I put that line on there just to make it clear that we are operating in the Central Time Zone, regardless of whether that's Central Standard or Central Daylight. Because I know I've had students in the past where they live in a different time zone. So that's important to keep that straight. Then there's the course learning objective section, required textbook section, and then the netiquette. And I'll let you read through all of that based on whatever course you're taking with me.